year. Now, it happened to be approximately from time of recording, nearly 2 weeks ago, that it was a sad passing of a really great rabbi, Harav Yechiel Shlomo Yedidia ben Shimon. To give the great rabbi his full title, he happened to be a great rabbi from the rabbinic dynasty or the Ben Shimon family. He was born actually back in November 1936, to be precise, on the 16th of Kislev, and he passed away on the 6th of Adar, reported over. That would have been, I believe, 6th of March in the year 2025, about 2 weeks ago. Here, from the time of recording, he'd gone to become not just a great rabbi, a judge also, a dayan in various different parts of Israel. He was part of the Moatzot Chachmei HaTorah, which is a very prominent position. He was appointed a dayan, a judge, inside the great Bet-Din of the great Rabbanim over there, and part of the Moatzot HaRabbanot Areshit, let's just say rabbinate, official connected, I believe, to the Israeli government position. You become a rabbi in Bnei Brak, in a prominent place, and the head of the Jewish court, named the Neve ציון. Let's explore a few of the great rabbis, highlights of his life. Now, he was born actually in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim Shel Zachab, and actually came from great rabbinic auspices. It's actually interesting. His father's name was Rabbi Mansour ben Shimon, who we've mentioned about on various occasions before. He himself happens to be one of the famous rabbis of Yeshivat Porat Yosef, and I believe his father happened to be, he happened to be the grandson of Rav Masud Chai ben Shimon, and his great-grandfather, I believe, happened to be the famous author of the book called the Tzuf Hadvash, which we've spoken about various occasions for. Rabbi David ben Shimon, he happened to be, let's just say, one of the great rabbis in Israeli history. Without that really brought a renaissance of people moving to Eretz Yisrael, to the land of Israel, in of its earlier day, let's just say, compared especially to now. So he learned in the Yeshiva Porat Yosef when he was young. I think come with the year 1966, he would be around bridging 30 years of age. He would actually become part of the, I believe, Misrad HaTatot Lechiburim Toraniyim, which is a very, very prominent position over there. He would be ordained to rabbinate through Rabbi Iser Yehuda Unterman, who happens to be a great rabbi who mentioned about before, famous Ashkenazi rabbi. He was, and he was part of the Tnuat Mizrahi, I believe, and he was, I think, the third chief rabbi of Tel Aviv. That was a great rabbi, and very much represented the Ashkenazi community over there. So he would, I think, give him a rabbinic ordination. He would actually work inside the Shchunat Yad Eliyahu in Tel Aviv, which was another prominent position at that point in time, a growing Torah community. And Jewish life was beginning to blossom, especially in Tel Aviv. There was a Jewish presence. And he would be appointed, I think, part of the Yeshivat Torah Vora'ah in Tel Aviv. This was another prominent position. This an institution we've mentioned about various occasions before. I think part of, once again, the Yad Eliyahu neighborhood over there. And I think it had a close connection with Rav Eliyahu Sharim, which we mentioned about in the video we did on the famous Sharim family at one stage in time. Then come on 1975, at that point in time, he would have been close to 40 years of age. He would be appointed as a judge through the Moatzot HaRabbanot Areshit. Once again, another great prominent position, and the Dayan of the Bet-Din of the Rabbanim over there, which is a very great position. I think this was a position he would take from 1992 all the way to 2008. That would be a very impressive 16 years he would hold this. He was part of the Bet-Din of the Mamanot B'Yeshivat Yechevei Dat in Jerusalem. Yechevei Dat, I believe, is based naturally in Harnof neighborhood, and very much part of the famous rabbinic family of the Yosef family, especially Chacham Obadiah Yosef. He'd be appointed the head of the Jewish court of the Badats, Neve ציון. I think his brother-in-law happened to be the famous Rabbi Shalom Cohen, who happened to be the spiritual leader of the Shas political party just before he passed away. He was for many, many years, and very much a great rabbi who we've mentioned about on various occasions before. He'd become a rabbi inside the synagogue, the Beit Knesset, Neve Yitzchak in Bnei Brak. This was another great position. And part of the committee, let's say, a Chaver Ba'adat HaShivot Shel Pras L'Sforot Toranit Bnei Brak. This was another great position, responsibility. And the Tivot Shalom, also in Bet Shemesh, the city I'm recording this from, the city I live in. I think in April 2023, he'll be part of the Moatzot Chachmei HaTorah of Shas, of the political party. The Shas political party, I believe at current, holds approximately 11 seats in the Knesset. It's, I believe, the fourth largest party in the Knesset. So he had a prominent position, something that would last around a couple of years, if it was from April 2023, as we're pushing close to April 2025. So he passed away on Vav Adar, that was 6th of March in 2025, only about 2 weeks ago. Now his daughter would get married to Rabbi Chanoch Kohen, who I think happens to be the Rosh Yeshiva of Be'er HaTalmud, and his son was the son of Rabbi Yehuda Cohen, if I'm not mistaken. It's actually interesting. I think there was a marriage connection through his granddaughter to Rabbi Yehuda Deri, who I think would become the Rabbi of Beersheba, respectively, which is very, very interesting. His father, as we said before, was Rabbi Mansur ben Shimon, another great rabbi. His mother's name was Rabbanit Yafa. So he passed away only 2 weeks ago. He was about 88 years of age at the time he passed away. I believe he was passed away in Jerusalem and would be buried in the Beit HaKvarot Sanhedria, in the Sanhedria burial plot, that cemetery over there. He was one of the great rabbis of his time. He was born, as we said before, in 1936 and passed away in 2025, only 2 weeks ago. Please don't forget to light candles when it comes to Shloshim and learn more about the great rabbi of yesteryear. We're learning about a lot of the great rabbis in this series. We've already covered as many as possibly 800 plus great chachamim of it, the yesteryear in itself, the brilliance of it yesteryear. And it's actually interesting. Rav Shimon, there's much related over him, especially in the, let's just say, the various different websites of the internet. And he was close with all the great rabbis, all the great politicians of his time, all over Israel, which we've mentioned about on other occasions before. So you could find out a lot more about him online. It's actually interesting. The Shas political party happens to be, usually they do garner up at least about 7-8 members of the Knesset. Sometimes they even got up to, I believe, as many as 20 students, which is absolutely staggering. I think he was as well a rabbi of the Ramat David neighborhood in the city of Bnei Brak. This was and he was very close with other great rabbis, especially the chief rabbi, Rav David Yosef, the great Yosef family in himself. He had a very, very strong connection. And his brothers also are great people. I think became great rabbis. One of them was a Rosh Yeshiva of Or Elitzur, and which is we should maybe brush upon about in another video in of itself. He had great respect for the whole of Am Yisrael. He was a very, very great rabbi and a member of the ציון, in the Beit ציון rabbinate in of itself. And many of the great rabbis would actually eulogize him. Also, the famous politician, education minister, I believe, Rabbi Michael Michaeli, would actually really compliment him, his brilliance, to the highest level, recounting over how he was an Abed Din and a member of the Council of Rabbinate of Israel. Many of the other rabbis would also say, and many of his great teachers, I think he had a close relationship with Rabbi Aryeh Deri, who's currently the head of the Shas political party, who would also give him a lavish, let's just say, eulogy at that point in time. So please don't forget to learn more about him. Subscribe to the channel. If you feel anyone is interested in watching these videos, share the videos to those people respectively. And please subscribe to this channel. Take care and be well.